I have a whole bunch of new perfumes that I added to my collection, which means I have a lot of decluttering to do. If you're interested to see what I am getting rid of, please stay tuned. When I attended Scent Explore last year, I picked up quite a bit of fragrances. I purchased so many fragrances that I feel it is necessary for me to let go of fragrances that I really am not using, whether I just recently purchased it like last year and I used it once or never at all. I think I need to just go ahead and let them go. So let's talk about those fragrances that are going to be leaving my collection. First up is a fragrance that I actually really enjoyed having in my collection because I love the bottles. This is by Atelier des Eaux and this is Rose Omeade. I actually really like this rose fragrance because it has a very smoky vibe to it, but I found myself not even reaching for it more than 2 or 3 times since I've owned it. I've used it maybe like 2 days in a row once, and then I have not touched it. In fact, in 2024, I didn't use this perfume at all. So this is going to be let go from my collection. Tom Ford Noir is a fragrance that I actually purchased, I want to say 2020. Now, I like this fragrance, but in my opinion, it's a fragrance that you should only wear, well, I would only wear when I'm going out. And I have so many other fragrances I prefer to wear when I am going out for an evening or a date that I hardly ever reach for this. I think I purchased it in 2020, like I mentioned, but I've worn it maybe 3 times, like total. And in my opinion, even though it's a nice fragrance, it's just not one that has a profile that I keep reaching for or that I would keep reaching for. This is Tom Ford's Mandarina di Amalfi Aqua. This is essentially the eau de toilette to this fragrance. And it's a fragrance that doesn't really last very long on my skin. And plus, I have not been reaching for it. It's been a couple years since I've owned this. And as you can see, I barely touched it. So what I am going to do is just go ahead and let go of it because, again, I don't really need to have fragrances in my collection that I'm not really wearing. Another Tom Ford that I like, but I hardly wear is Sol de Positano Aqua. This is, again, is an eau de toilette version of this fragrance. This is actually really nice floral fragrance. It has like a solar type vibe to it as well. Now, again, just like the one I talked about before, these are nice fragrances, but I don't find myself wearing citrus fragrances a lot. Hence the reason I probably don't reach for them. Even during the summertime, I just don't reach for them. So it doesn't really make sense for me to hold on to them just to say that I have them in my collection. So this is Tom Ford Sol de Positano Aqua, and this is another one I'm releasing from my collection. Thierry Mugler's Aura is a fragrance that is really unique. It's a very green, sort of mossy vibe. I actually like this fragrance, and when I wear it, I do get compliments from it. People say, I've never smelled that before. They say that it's a strange scent. I don't think they've ever used the word strange, but it's something that smells different. It has a green, sort of a wet, not grass, but mossy, sweet vibe to it. It's a fragrance that I found myself having to sort of get used to wearing when I did wear it quite a bit. And I liked it, but it wasn't one that I had to, it wasn't an easy reach. That's how I could describe it. It's not a fragrance that has an easy reach. So this is Aura by Thierry Mugler. So I've also got the Aura Eau de Toilette. This one comes off a little lighter and a little sweeter. I purchased this because I don't know why I purchased it, to be honest with you, just because. Can we do that? Can we just say, be honest here and say, I just purchased something just because. This fragrance, it smells like the original Aura, but it has a lighter, sweeter vibe. And I like that about it. However, the DNA of Aura, I've just kind of outgrown. I am not going to wear this. I have not worn it. I sprayed it a couple times when I unboxed it, and that was that. So I am letting go of this fragrance. I don't know if I've ever seen this in the store in the past like year or so, to be quite honest with you. Anyways, this is Aura by Thierry Mugler, and this one I am letting go from my collection. Now, when this fragrance was released, I was actually really pleased with it, really liked it. This is Ariana Grande's Cloud Pink. It has a sugary, I would say not cotton candy quite, but it's a girly vibe type of fragrance. I do like the fragrance. As you can see, I did put a dent in it, but I was not reaching for it at all. I found myself actually not reaching for a whole lot of designer fragrances that had that DNA to it. This is very pretty on the skin. I did get compliments when I wore it, but it's not a fragrance that I reach for. And as a matter of fact, I actually put it in its box. It's been almost a year and I haven't touched it since. So this is Ariana Grande's Cloud Pink. I picked this fragrance up a time when I was purchasing I would say I wanted to collect everything from a brand or from a perfumer. So this is Blanc Poudre from Healy Perfumes. This is really nice. It's clean, it's fresh, it's got a very cottony vibe. Basically, if you're looking for a clean scent, this is one of the premier clean scents that I have in my collection. This is an eau de parfum, and I actually like this fragrance, but it's extremely light and I just like it. I don't love it. So there's no need for me to hold on to it in my collection. So this is Blanc Poudre by Healy. If you have any questions about this fragrance, please let me know down in the comments. If you've tried anything from Healy, also let me know down in the comments because I don't hear anybody talking about this house at all anymore. Here's another Healy I purchased. This is Agarwood, and this is an extrait de parfum. Now, I picked this up because, again, I was actually really trying to collect as much as I could from this house. But the other thing, too, is that I was trying to expand my horizon when it came to fragrances. And this is how I learned my lesson. I like what I like, what I like. I tried really hard to step out and enjoy oud, as a lot of people do, but I am very much not so much an oud girl. I like sweet. I do like gourmand. I like fresh, but not fresh as in too much citrus. I like fresh as in ethereal more so. And this one is definitely a smokier, incensey, oudy fragrance that is just not something that I would reach for at all. So Agarwood, I'm letting go from my collection. Speaking about pretty fragrances, Phoenicia is one of them, but not pretty as I would imagine pretty. Phoenicia was created by James Healy for his wife. And although this fragrance does have some sweetness to it, it's not the type of sweetness that I would normally wear. This is more incensey, oudy, woody, that type of vibe. The fragrance is extremely bold. And it's just not a profile that I would normally wear. Again, I picked this up, number one, because of the story. Like I said, he made this for his wife. But the other thing too is I was collecting a lot of Healy, anything I could get my hands on. I just thought I was enamored with James Healy as a perfumer and the vibe that he created. But most of his fragrances that I picked up were just not really, my taste when it comes to fragrances. So this is Phoenicia by Healy, and I'm letting this go from my collection. I have quite a bit of Skylar fragrances in my collection that I do not wear at all. Sunkissed Dahlia is one of the latest ones that I received, and I do like the fragrance. I do not have a displeasure towards the fragrance whatsoever. I just don't wear the fragrances. In fact, I don't wear any of my Skylar fragrances. Most of them are brand spanking new. If I spray them, I maybe press them once or twice. This one, however, I have worn a couple of times. Now, I have about 8 or 9 Scarlet fragrances. I need to make a group sale with these because I got a lot of them I need to just let go. Next up is Sweet by Lolita Lempicka. I actually really do like this fragrance as well. Unfortunately, I very rarely reach for this fragrance. I don't think I've touched this bottle in over a year. And the reason why is because I have other cherry fragrances in my collection that I like, that I prefer. The dynamics of those fragrances much better than the sweet. I do like sweet, I just do not wear it. And I don't really see the need to keep anything that I am not wearing in my collection anymore. Another fragrance I have in my collection that I have had for some time and I haven't touched is La Col Noir by Dior. This is from the Privé line. Guys, this is a really pretty fragrance. It's a pretty watery type floral, sweet floral, but I do not wear it. I look at it, I like the bottle, I love the aesthetics of the bottles, the Dior bottles, but I have not touched this. And I've been going back and forth on it. I've listed it, but I haven't, and the price actually went up, to be honest with you. The price went up, but I have not been wearing this one. So I am thinking I just need to go ahead and part ways with La Col Noir. I am a huge fan of Narciso Rodriguez's Cube perfumes, and I have quite a few of them, but I let go of quite a few as well. So this one is the Narciso Rouge. I have the Poudre, I have the original Narciso. The Rouge is another one that I really like as well. I very rarely wore this. I sprayed it a couple of times, but I've never really worn it out because I love the Poudre so very much. So this one I'm planning on letting go of it. I love the bottle. I love the presentation of these fragrances. I just don't see myself wearing this. And it's been in this box, oh my God, for over a year and I haven't touched it. So I'm letting it go from my collection. I love this bottle though. If I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. Dalmarosa by Liquides Imaginaire just isn't working for me. I really wanted to love this perfume because when I first smelled it in the store at the scent room in Dallas, I was like, oh my God, I was blown away. But as this fragrance grew a little older in my collection, the champagne accord is just way too much. Literally every time I spray it on and I ask my family about it, they'll tell me I smell like I have drank too much. So this definitely has to be out of my collection very quickly. So these are some of the fragrances I will be letting go from my collection. As you can see, my collection is pretty much sufficiently large. So technically, I can stand to let go of a few more other fragrances, especially since I added some, quite a bit during the holidays. Now, if you have any questions about any of the fragrances that I talked about today, let me know down in the comment section so that I can either clarify for you if you had questions. If you're interested in picking any of these up, let me know. I do have them listed on Poshmark, but I would be willing to, forego Poshmark and sell them to you. Okay? So if you're interested, let me know down in the comments, and you can connect with me on Facebook, on Instagram, if you have any questions about the fragrances I talked about today that I'm letting go. All right, my dears, thanks for watching. Take care of yourself and each other, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.